Alexander Isak is still on strike, man, and this is just it's just getting from bad to worse, and this situation's getting more and more messy. Someone's got to lose in this situation, and I don't know who it's gonna be. Is it gonna be Isak? Because actually, it looks like Newcastle United are gonna call his bluff. Do you know what I mean? And even me, I keep changing my opinion of he definitely can't stay there versus actually, is there a way back in terms of Newcastle standing firm? But today, I actually wanted to talk about it from the Newcastle United fans' perspective because I've been going back and forth with Newcastle fans and giving them banter because they're just a smaller club than Man United and we've been going back and forth and stuff. That's fine. Listen, let's put part of that to the side. But on a pure football level, let's talk ball now. I completely understand why these guys are fuming. Like, what Alexander Isak's actually doing is mad. Let's break it down. Like, I understand trying to go to fulfill your potential and fulfill your career, and you know, um, uh, you know what I mean, playing at the highest level. Liverpool coming in for you, you want to go, but there's a way to do things, man. There is a way to do things, and it isn't this. When he signed that contract at Newcastle United for the best part of 120 grand, like you that comes with a level of commitment. That comes with a level of you have to still turn up and do your job. Look at how Mark Gahey is at Liverpool at Crystal Palace. Like, there was bids for him from Newcastle United last year, four or five of them, and he didn't get the move for whatever reason. Maybe he rejected the move. I don't know. But the move didn't happen because Crystal Palace kept rejecting the fee. He could have got frustrated. I want to go play for Newcastle United, etc., etc. Nothing. Just keeps calm. Just plays his best football and just keeps it cool. Like, there has to be some bit of pushback to players of like, you can't just not turn up to work, bro. Like, Isak is not turning up to work. Like, if that was in any other walk of life, if that's in any other thing, and there's always an exception in football, that it's just acceptable to not turn up to work. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand the side of players, though, as well, of like, they can be treated like crap by clubs. Do you know what I mean? Like, they could be told one thing, and then the club doesn't deliver on that, and then you can feel like you're being priced out. You can feel like you've been wrong. So there are two sides to every story. But I still believe that when it comes down to, and maybe it's just a person, like if how I would conduct myself if I was in that situation, which is easy to say when I'm not on 120 grand a week, but we're football fans, innit? We got to talk about this. I think there still has to be a level of commitment to the fans and the manager of what he's done for you, what Newcastle United have done for you. They've given you this platform for Liverpool to even come in for you. What is that? Has to be worth something. Of course, he could push back his, I helped fire them to Champions League. Look what I've done. I've scored a goal in the cup final that's got them their first trophy in 70 years. So it's always vice versa. But you are an employee of the football club. Fact, like they paid 60 odd million for you from Real Sociedad and gave you a big contract, bro. So yes, you're not getting what you want right now, but you have to hang on in there. You have to turn up to work. You can't just say I'm not coming. And listen, only time will tell whether this is a really good move by Isak or whether he's been badly advised. Because let's be real, if Isak does get his move to Liverpool and they retain the Premier League or win the Champions League or both, hopefully not, but I mean they're really successful and Isak has a good season, he'll feel vindicated. If he's happy to do that at the expense of severing his ties or severing his relationship with Newcastle United fans who adore him, who clearly don't anymore, and rightly so, then on his head be it. On his head be it. Like it's his career, and I get it. What's important to different players is that. And the thing is, it's because I didn't really have Isak down as this. I'm not gonna lie, people. I didn't have Isak down as somebody who would be on this. Like, I just didn't see him agitating for a move this much. Do you know what I mean? And then from the Liverpool perspective, well, and I want to ask you this, Liverpool fans, is it concerning? Is it concerning that, because there's two ways of looking at this. Is it concerning that Alexander Isak is doing this? Because if he does this to them, what happens when Real Madrid come knocking and want to sign him? What happens when Barcelona come knocking and want to sign him from Liverpool? You see what happened with Trent, not in exactly the same way. He didn't agitate and wasn't rude. But you see that sometimes there's a football hierarchy, there's a football, food chain. And if he wants to move from Liverpool in 2 to 3 years to Real Madrid and starts doing this, is that the sort of character that you want? Or do you look at it, Liverpool fans, and be like, this is just how badly he wants to join us? Obviously, we're bigger than Newcastle. You know what I mean? We're the Premier League champions. Do you see it as this just shows how much he wants to be a Liverpool player? This is the sort of players I want at my team. This is the sort of players I want fighting. He'll literally do anything. He'll do anything to move to us. Or would you prefer to be like, he wants to come to us, you know, but he's being very respectful of, you know, his current club, Newcastle United. And that's the sort of person you want in your dressing room, a good guy who's going to do things in the right way. But shout out Melissa Reddy, I saw that she put some stuff up saying that, you know, more from the player side, that Alexander Isak told them before the transfer window even opened that he wanted to leave. It's nothing new. And, you know, the fact that 120 million pound bid has been turned down by Newcastle United, does Isak see that as, mate, you're getting double what you paid for me? You paid 60 million pounds for me. Club record signing at the time. Might even still be club record signing. You paid that for me, and you're getting double that, and you're saying no. Like, also, we had a gentleman's agreement that, you know, if this price came in for me, or if that price came in for me, you'd let me go. But I keep saying about gentleman's agreements, man. Let's be real. Gentleman's agreements, what are they? What are they in football? Like, there's a saying in business, not even just football, like, if it ain't written down, it didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? So I think it doesn't really. You saw what happened with Victor Gyökeres, gentleman's agreement, this, that, and the other. Like, people are gonna do what's right for them, and that's where, you know, when you look at football teams, football clubs, the club will certainly look out for themselves, and they should. No one player is bigger than the club, but are they pricing him out of a move? You know what I mean? But with all of that said, I don't think it's right that Alexander Isak just downs tools and says, I ain't training with you lot. And, well, that decision's probably taken out of his hands now, but he said, I'm not coming back. You know, and also, talk about the bluff. Is Isak, if that window shuts, yeah, on September the 1st, I think it is, or September the 2nd, whichever one it is. If that window shuts, yeah, and Isak is still a Newcastle United player, is he really, and this is where you talk about poker and that, yeah, and showing your hand, is he really going to sit there and not play for the whole year? The whole year in a World Cup year for Sweden. Now, don't get me wrong, no disrespect, but Sweden, you know, probably not in a position to be turning down the services of Alexander Isak. You know what I mean? Obviously, Alanga's there now. Gyökeres is in the Premier League now. So their front line of what? Alanga, Isak and Gyökeres, of whatever that looks like, is scary. But is he really going to say, I'm not playing the whole year? He ain't going to do that. I tell you that now. There's no way Alexander Isak is going to sit there and not play football for a year and then trying to be getting on the plane to go to Sweden, to go to the Americas and Mexico, etc., Canada, to the World Cup. No way. And more for him if he does do that. So actually, that's where Newcastle got a point. They're like, listen, you know what I mean? You ain't doing that. But having said that, after his behaviour, what does it look like for Eddie Howe? Because are Newcastle United going to pay him to sit there all year and not put him back in matchday squads? Now listen, you can't force a player to play. If he says, I'm literally not coming to training, then you're looking at like disciplinary action. You're looking at, then you can probably not pay him. If he refuses to turn up to work, then it gets all legal, then it gets all mad. And Newcastle United say, well, hold on a minute, we're paying you 120 grand a week. We haven't ostracised you anymore. We're recalling you back to the first team. We've left you out of the first team whole setup because, you know, there's stuff going on. Until the transfer window closes. The transfer window is closed now. You are a Newcastle United player. You can't move until the minimum of January. Get your ass back into training. Get your ass back in the squad. And if he refuses to do that, they'll just stop paying him his money. Court of arbitration of sport thing. You know what I mean? You can't just not turn up to work. And what's he going to say in court? Nah, because they said that they're going to let me go for 120 million. They didn't do it. Tough is football. That's what happens. That's what happens, mate. You got your contract. You got your bread. You have to turn up to work. So I don't know, man. Isak needs to be very, very careful because actually the way he's agitating and how he's doing it now is sinking in. It's actually mad. It's actually mad. He better hope Newcastle say yeah and he gets his move to Liverpool so he can move on, because it's going to be hella awkward if he has to stay. You know what I'm saying? What does that look like? Like, even just saying sorry is not really going to cut it. So yeah, we'll see, man. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to Football Flex if you're new. Newcastle United fans, let me know what you lot are saying on this. Leave out the Man United ban. I can't bother to do the Sesko thing. You lot know what I'm on, yeah? This is a temporary, wave the white handkerchiefs, you know what I mean? This is a temporary ceasefire for the good of football. You know what I mean? Let me know what you're saying about Isak. And Liverpool fans, what do you think about the character? Do you care? Do you not care because you're big boys to Newcastle United, so you couldn't care less? And you're just a massive club, so of course Isak wants to do this, or do you look at it and go, it's true though, man. If Real Madrid come, if he starts doing that, if he does that to them, he could do that to us. Let me know. I'm out of it. Peace.